Everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys, I'm going to be profiling for you my Dark Magician Girl deck. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting to see a deck profile of this deck. There's really not a deck profile or even a live deck profile I've seen with the new Dark Magician support that came out of Dark Illusions, combining the two decks. Pretty much mainly having Dark Magician Girls, the Dark Magician Girl archetype now that they've created out of the movie pack, being the main focus, but with some of the new stuff that came out of Dark Illusions. And that's what this deck is. It's a combination of the movie pack and mainly focusing upon Dark Magician Girl herself, but with Dark Magician support. So this deck is very fun. I've been testing it out recently and I love it. It's pretty solid. It can actually give Blue Eyes White Dragon a run for its money if you get Dark Paladin out. I mean, my gosh, that card can just wreck Blue Eyes White Dragon. But beside that, the deck's fairly solid, but yeah, I really like it. So first off, we have our three different alternative artwork of Dark Magician. You have one that's, I think, the anniversary artwork. You have the 2004 tin promo of Dark Magician, which I've had since I was a kid and bought the tin. Granted, I have a girlfriend now, guys, don't worry about it, but geez, back in the day when I was a teenager and played Yu-Gi-Oh back then, Dark Magician was the hottest thing next to the sun. Then you have the movie promo pack, Dark Magician, but I love these full body artworks of Dark Magician. I do love the original artwork, don't get me wrong. I have a first ed from Magic Rulers, not Magic Rulers, but the set she came out in. I have that as a secret, but I like these artworks just as much, and those are the ones I decided to run. So she is the main focus of the deck, but she does run her counterpart, Dark Magician. Now, a lot of people are going to ask me, Seto, why are you not running, you know, Dark Burning Attack? Why are you not running this and that? Well, we don't fully have all the Dark Magician support and Dark Magician Girl support at this moment. We're going to be getting a lot more of it, like Dark Burning Attack and whatnot, in October sometime. I think it's like mid-October, late October. So as of right now, we do not have that. The only thing we have is the movie promo pack stuff and the Dark Illusion set. So please understand that. But we got the movie promo Dark Magician, which I like the artwork of that, and we got the Ulta version I got from years ago, which I really like. So we got these two as our Dark Magician. Thanks to my friend Will for giving me this years ago. He probably doesn't remember. But yeah, two Dark Magicians. Now the main reason we run Dark Magician is because we run Magician's Navigation. And mainly what you do here with Magician's Navigation is this is such a powerful card, because you add the Dark Magician to your hand, or you draw it, whatever the case may be, you set your Magician's Navigation, then you go off. Now I tried 3 Dark Magician, and I may try it out again, and you as a player can decide if you want to run 3, but I found that 3 Dark Magicians got kind of cloggy. 2 was all I really needed, and it usually goes to your hand, and it goes to your hand for Magician's Navigation, and then you go off with combo plays with it when he's in the graveyard or when you special summon him and whatever. But usually you go Dark Magician, Dark Magician Girl, kind of like the anime. I know it's true, but when you use Magician's Navigation, mainly that's what I usually do. I usually go Magician's Navigation, special summon Dark Magician, special summon Dark Magician Girl. Now you could run the Illusion Magician, the other one that's treated as Dark Magician, which I do run in my regular Dark Magician deck. However, I found he got cloggy. He really, like, you had so many monsters, like you were having like 25 monsters in the deck, and it clogged. So I decided to cut him out, just put Dark Magician in, and it's been working fine ever since. Try it out before you start adding more Dark Magician support. I'm not lying. It'll get cloggy really fast. Then I run 2 Magician's Rod. You only need 2. You're mainly going to search out for your cards. You're going to search out with Magician's Rod. Is the 2 Magician's Circle that you run. I do own a 3rd. Your Dark Magic Attack, which you could cut it down to 1 or 2 of. It's up to you. I don't think you can search Dark Magical Expedition, but yeah, you could. You could also search your Illusion Magician and just some of your other cards that you run here, like Magician's Navigation. So there's a multitude of different cards you can search in the deck. Sometimes what I do is I'll activate this. So say I opened with Magician's Navigation in my hand, I'll go normal summon this, search out Illusion Magic, set the Illusion Magic, you know, and then on my turn I'll tribute this off if they try to attack it. Then I'll have the Dark Magician in my hand, then activate Magician's Navigation. I've disrupted their battle phase, and then they go like, oh, okay, well, now I gotta do this and that. And the thing is, also, if you have like things like Kiwi Magician, if you're Dark Magician Girl, they'll be like, oh, I'll attack Dark Magician Girl, and you're like, oh, no, Kiwi Magician, no, motherfudger. You get destroyed. So, yeah, I like it as a 2 of, no more. No more than 2 of, I would say, definitely. But that is just me. Then I run literally probably the best card in the entire deck, or best monster, I feel like, is Chocolate Magician. This card is a staple as a 3 of in the deck. You want to get to this card as quickly as possible. If you get this card out... Now, the thing is, with her and Berry Magician, which is kind of like a Chocolate Magician in her own, which we'll talk about more, Chocolate Magician states you can discard 1 spellcaster monster from your hand to draw 1 card. And if your opponent attacks Chocolate Magician, you redirect the attack by special summoning a spellcaster from your graveyard, and I believe it's having the attack. Now, a lot of people think that it's not a great card because it's kind of like has the Maiden effect, where, you know, like, oh, I'm not going to attack that Blue Eyes White Maiden because a Blue Eyes is going to come out. But the thing is, if they don't attack it, or they run out of abilities to, you know, they run out of ways to, you know, compulse it back to your hand, or get rid of it, or Fiendish Chain it, or Solemn Strike it, and they don't know what the heck the deck does, well, they're going to come into the the position where they're going to have to attack it, because this girl can attack over things with Kiwi Magician, which we'll talk about in a second. But literally, these combination cards really come in handy because you'll literally force their hand to attack this card. Optimally, they're not going to want to attack this because they have that Maiden syndrome, you know, Blue Eyes White Maiden syndrome, where, hey, I don't attack Blue Eyes White Maiden. But if they, unlike Blue Eyes White Maiden, is if they don't attack you, you can attack them. So they're like, oh, fudge. Well, I better find a Castell, or, you know, some other way of getting around Chocolate Magician, and that buys you time and more drawing, and they're not going to want that. So I'm just going to say that. So Kiwi Magician Girl, as we move Chocolate Magician Girl out, because you use her for other plays as well in the deck, not just for a draw engine. Kiwi Magician Girl literally is a colute for the most part, as I'll read you her effect if you don't know what she states. During either player's turn, discard this card. Magician Girl, so that means Dark Magician Girl, and any of the Magician Girls you currently control, gain 300 attack and defense for each Magician Girl with different names on the field and in the graveyard until the end of this turn. Spellcaster type monsters you control can't be destroyed by card effects, and your opponent can't target them by card effects. So she is really good as a staple. Yes, she's a rank 5, so that's kind of sucks, but still, she's literally like a colute, but better. And the fact of the matter is, if you have other Magician Girls, like, say they destroyed your Dark Magician, well, there's 300 attack there. Oh, and now this is 300 more attack because you're discarding it. So, you know, Chocolate's attack goes up to above 2,000, so that can cause some havoc, and your opponent's going to go, ooh, yeah, gotta get rid of that thing. So I do definitely think this is a staple as a 3 of. It's very, very good, in my humble opinion. Next we have 3 Berry Magician Girl, which I'll read you Berry Magician Girl's effect. We went 3 of this. This is kind of like a pseudo Chocolate Magician, so to speak. Berry Magician Girl states, if this card is normal summon, you can add 1 Magician Girl monster from your deck to your hand. Once per turn during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a card effect that targets this card, or targets this card for an attack, you can change this card's battle position, and if you do, special summon 1 Magician Girl from your deck, except Berry Magician. Mainly your searcher out, but if your opponent has this weird idea that they're going to target it, or attack it, or do something to it, then you're going to bring another Magician Girl out and redirect that attack. The deck really has this thing where they do sleight of hand type of tricks, where they do a lot of battle tricks, Dark Magician Girls do. Granted, you have to rely upon your opponent attacking, but I've had opponents attack, and it's not because they're not reading the card effect, it's because they have no other way of getting rid of the card. So they'll attack Chocolate Magician, then they'll attack Chocolate Magician Girl again to get rid of it. And, you know, you get a free monster out. I mean, you see weird things happen like that. Then we have 1 Lemon Magician Girl and 1 Apple Magician Girl. You could run more Lemon or Apple if you really want to, but I just like it as 1 apiece. Lemon's pretty good, Apple's pretty good. Apple revives things back, and it's kind of like a pot of kind of like a Dagusto Emerald type effect where you can add monsters back to your hand. You don't get to draw cards, but you can add up to 3 Dark Magician Girl cards, I believe, from your... Is it Magician Girl cards? Yeah, 3 Magician Girl monsters with different names from your graveyard back to your deck, which is nice. I'm sure she has some other effects. And Lemon can redirect things again. More sleight of hands, doing crazy things. If your opponent attacks one of your Magician Girls, you can literally just swarm the field with a whole bunch of Magician Girls and go off. But, yeah, just 2 of those each. That's fine by me. Then you run your one Dark Magician of Chaos. Staple. You have multiple ways of getting this out. Some stupid things I've done to my opponent is I'll be like, okay, well, normal summon Chocolate Magician Girl, discard the Dark Magician of Chaos. Okay, it's in the graveyard. Then randomly at some point in the duel they'll attack, you know, another Chocolate Magician Girl or one of my other cards, and I'm like, oh, bring out Dark Magician of Chaos back. Because if it's discarded to the graveyard, it does not get banished because it never touched the field. So, yeah. But 1 Dark Magician of Chaos, that's all you need. Some people run 2, some people run 3. I just like 1 of it. That's all you really need. Then we run 2 Summoner Monk. This card, I use the same combo that I use with Chocolate Magician Girl that I use in my Dark Magician deck. Literally what you do is you go Summoner Monk. Okay, Summoner Monk. Normal special summon out Chocolate Magician Girl. Activates Chocolate Magician Girl's effect. Discarding a spellcaster from your hand, draw a card, go into a rank 4 Exceed, maybe Dagusto Emerald because you have Dark Magician Engrave, go into Dagusto Emerald, Reborn the Dark Magician, go into another rank 4 if you need to get out of certain situations, but you also draw and thinning your deck out. So the deck has fairly consistent draw power in the deck because of Chocolate and some other stuff. But 2 Summoner Monk. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be wondering why the heck I don't run a Lure of Darkness here in a second, but this helps you with rank 4 plays and whatnot, but yeah. Like I said earlier, I think some of you guys are going to wonder why the heck, Seto, do you not run, you know, Allure of Darkness? Well, the problem is, as I'll discuss as I put down this card, you got a good amount of darks, but they are cards that you really don't want to banish, and the deck already has a draw engine in Chocolate Magician Girl, and your deck searches fairly well. Problem is the Magician Girls. They're earth, they're wind, they're fire, they're light. You could run maybe 1 Allure of Darkness. I tried it, or 2. I tried 2 of them. It just, even before the ban list, it's not as optimal as maybe the Dark Magician deck. So I'll just say that. 2 Magician Circles. You get to banish a card when you special summon a Dark Magician. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Add a Dark Magician card with its text. That's not Eye of Timaeus. That's not Eye of Timaeus. I'll say that again. And then you can rearrange them in the, like, card advanced and on top of your deck in any order. So 2 Magician Circle. Next we run 2 Dark Magic Attack. I probably will cut this down to 1 maybe in the future, but I like 2 at the moment. 2 Dark Magic Attack. It's your Harpy's Feather Duster. You get out Dark Magician some way, somehow. You activate Dark Magic Attack. It works out fairly well. In the future, I may cut 1 out for 1 Dark Magic Attack and 1 for 1 Dark Burning Attack. For Dark Magician Girl, but that's not out yet, so you can't run it. So yeah. Next we run 2. How do you pronounce this card's name? Dark Magic Expended. So this card I wish was a holo, but this card's really good because you usually end up with maybe 2 to 3 Dark Magicians, and 2 to 3. Usually by turn 2 or 3, you have 3 maybe sometimes, depending upon what hand you got. But this card's really good because you get multiple different effects, from gaining a 1,000 attack to protecting your monsters, from not letting your monsters be targeted. It's just a great card. I run it as a 1 of in my Dark Magician deck, but because the fact of the matter that you are running Dark Magician Girl and you are also running Dark Magician, you have more of these because Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl both count for the tally of this, so they add up very quickly. So 2 of that card, very, very good. Next up we run 2 Eye of Timaeus. You cannot search this card, but it works out so well. One of the cool plays I love doing is if you have a Dark Magician in your hand, or whatever way you got Dark Magician to your hand, and then you activate Magical Navigation. What you'll do sometimes is you'll go, okay, well, I'll bring out a Dark Magician and a Dark Magician Girl off, you know, Magical Navigation, Magician's Navigation. So you activate this, get Dark Magician Girl out on your turn if you want to. Then you go, oh, well, I have Eye of Timaeus sitting here nice and pretty. I'll target Dark Magician to go into Dark Paladin or whatever, or I'll target Dark Magician Girl and then go into Dark Magician Girl Knight and pop cards on the field. So it's such a power card, and it helps it compete against Blue Eyes White Dragon because you go into Dark Paladin. And if it's dead in your hand, you can pinch it with Summon a Monk. Even if it can't be searched, guys, please understand this card is still very powerful. So next up, we run 2 Magician's Illusion. I was debating well, I'll say this. I know a lot of people may say, well, what happens if you draw 2 Dark Magician in your hand and this card's dead? Well, you have Summon a Monk to pitch dead spell cards, which is great, and go into rank 4s and do other things. Second off is, it just helps you get into Dark Magician faster. So you can go off Magical Navigations, which is your power card of the deck. So I like it as a 2-of. Then I have 1 Dedication through Light and Darkness, 1 Upstart Goblin, and 1 Regeki. Regeki, it's your out to many things. You have Upstart Goblin for consistency, and this helps you get all Dark Magician of Chaos by tributing a Dark Magician. So it comes out very well. I still like Dark Magician of Chaos, though, in the deck. Next up, we run 3 Magical Navigation. I've seen some people in the Dark Magician Girl decks run just 2 of it, and you could get away with that. However, the thing is, I found with this deck is Dark Magician's Navigation is your power play of your deck. You go off that, and you're usually golden, because you can do a whole bunch of different things, and if depending upon the cards you have in your hand, you can do like a whole bunch of different combo plays and everything. Be it Glorify Timaeus, be it just running over monsters, may be using your Magician Girls, maybe just the plays really develop with this card. So I like it as a 3-of. You could run it as a 2-of if you wanted to, though. Then we run 2 Dark Renewal. This card's really good. You literally tribute a spellcaster on your field, tribute a target an opponent's monster, destroy it, and then you get to special summon from the graveyard or the deck a spellcaster monster. So, very, very good card. Then I run, just because I've been testing it out, 1 Magical Defense. Is that what it's called? Defense, yeah, 1 Magical Defense. Now, this card came out of the movie promo pack. I'm testing it. It's really nice because if your spellcaster is attacked and you have little spellcasters, say they Fiendish Chained it so you can't get their effects off of it, or Breakthrough Skilled, or whatever the case may be, if they did that to that monster, well, you're not going to take as much damage from your Dark Magician getting destroyed, whatever the case may be. However, as you guys may understand here, it does have your attack. It does have their, not have their attack, but you don't take as much damage. And the cool thing is, sometimes what I do, because Twin Twister is a thing, is I'll set this and maybe Magical Navigation, and my opponent will go, oh, I'm going to Twin Twister your back row. Okay, you destroyed this card. Okay, it goes to the graveyard. Cool. I'll get to special summon a spellcaster monster, because it states, as I'll read here for you guys, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target 1 spellcaster type monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So the cool thing is, if you had Chocolate Magician just sitting there in the graveyard, and you have pitched a big magician like Dark Magician of Chaos, Dark Magician Girl, whatever the case may be, you can be like, oh, well, okay, you destroyed this, I'll bring a big Dark Magician back, or whatever the case may be, and that can mess up their plays and the way they do things. So I do like it as a 1-of. Try it out. Still testing it, though. Next, onto the extra deck, we run, guys, your Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight, 2 Amulet Dragon, still a good card in the deck, and 2 Dark Paladin, because sometimes you go into 2. You don't have to run 2 of this, you don't have to run 2 of this, but I like it because sometimes it does arise where you're going into 2 Dark Paladin. But yeah. Oh, the cool thing is you can use that 1000 attack boost from that quick play spell onto this and make it be ungodly. I've done some FTKs with that. Then you have 1 Ebon Magician and 1 Ebon High Magician. You also have 1 number 11 Big Eye. These are just your rank 7s you can go into. You don't always go into them because you're only running 3 Dark Magicians and you're not running a rank 7 engine, but sometimes it does happen. So I'll just say that sometimes it does happen. Next up we run are, for rank 4s, Trapeze Magician, because you can easily make this. Daigusto Emerald, because you can reborn things and recycle and draw cards. Castel, good rank 4. Utopia, and number S Utopia 39, the Lightning. You also run, guys, I run Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon and number 106 Giant Hand. You literally can run any rank 4s in the deck. I would say, though, however, you definitely want to run these 3 right here, Daigusto, Traptrix, and this, and Castel. So that is the deck, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know it was kind of confusing, but the deck is so fun to play. It's not a competitive deck, but it's a good, solid deck to play. And it's really fun to play because Dark Magician really has her own archetype now. Thanks be to God. But yes, I hope you guys all enjoyed this deck profile, and tell me what you think. If you have any tips or tricks that you've been using in your Dark Magician Girl deck, please let me know. And until next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I'll see you guys next time.